they like to know about the company, the business, right? Just a minute, I'll just get that. Just a second. So now what are the organizations will like to tell about themselves and the stakeholders would like to know about the organization, right? So now how do they communicate with you? One is that you can always have a daily news briefing, right? But everyone not like to know what is the news briefing, what is the requirement. So instead of that, in a summarized format, they may say that, okay, we have done like this. This has been our status. This is the way we have operated during this particular time period. And they may also give some guidance about future, that this is likely to happen something like this in the future. So typically the business will talk about the performance, yes, how they have done in this particular period, like how much revenue, what are the expenses, whether they made a profit or loss, or then they may also give some guidance that yes, in the future this is likely to happen, expected, so this is likely to have a revenue, expenses, profit, etc., etc., so that the stakeholders. Anyone? What's the desirable quality of the report?
Authentic and free from material errors.
Okay, authentic and free from errors. Okay, then
It should be of a standard format accepted by the industry.
okay, so somebody has written it must be accurate. Somebody says that it must be a standard format. Somebody says that
So the data provided in reports must not be tempered.
it must not be tampered. It must be tampered proof. Okay, that means it must be authentic.
Yeah.
Made by some approval should be made by
Uh,
someone who is authorized.
I did not get it.
Approval for that report should be given by someone who is authorized to do so. For example, CA.
Okay, okay. So somebody should be approving the report also. Okay, so that you will have a trust. Yes, it is not just like that somebody has presented and company report prepared and we have to trust that. There is some third party who is approving. Okay, right. Anything else?
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, are lenders also considered investors in a business?
Yes. Investors, you may have an understanding investor is only shares. Okay. But investor is somebody who is investing in the company, is giving some money. You can give the money as an owner of the business or you can give the money as a lender of the business.
Okay, sir, understood.
Okay. So the basic thing for any report has to be that it must be, yeah, somebody said it should be highlighting the most relevant information for stakeholders. First of all, it should be understandable. Okay. And then another important thing is that if you are presenting a report, what shall you do with that? As we discussed in the previous class, we like to compare this report with the previous year, or we like to compare the report with the another business which is maybe similar activities. So then you know, yes, good, bad, ugly, whatever that means. Unless there is a comparison, you cannot say just like that as I talking about a particular CGPA 8.5. So 8.5 is good or bad. Yes, if somebody say 8 is a benchmark, then okay. Or somebody has 8.4, I have 8.5. Similarly, the company has made some profit, growth in sales, etc., etc. So you have to see that how much growth in sales has taken place for rest of the company in that particular industry. So that is a comparison. Now, when you have got a comparison, right? If you have to comparison has to be done, then the report has to be in a standard format. Okay. It cannot be that whatever company feels that whatever business they will like to have a report like that. It is not like that. So there has to be some protocol which has to follow, and that protocol has to be same for all the companies, at least in a particular sector. Okay, generally the protocol is same for all the companies, but there are certain other sectors like banking company, banking sector, where Reserve Bank of India also has certain guidelines which has to be followed. Okay, so now because the protocols, that means there has to be some rules regulation regarding how the report has to look like, and if the report has to be prepared, before the report is prepared, there will be something else that is happening in the background. So that background also, whatever rules regulation they follow for that background preparation, that also has to be same. So there comes the rules of different regulator who does that. Coming back to your point that somebody said, yes, it is authentic. Yes, because there are certain rules and regulations which the organization has to follow. So, and there is a third party called auditor. Somebody was saying CA, chartered accountant. They are actually auditors. The auditors are the very beautiful part of a very unique thing, unique feature in an organization. Auditor will be auditing the transaction statements, rules, procedures followed, all those things. Everything they can ask for the information, and the company is obliged to give. If the company doesn't give it, they can write in the report that we asked for this information, but for whatever reason they have not given the information to us. Okay, that is not a good sign of any report as such. That is called a qualified audit report. A report where auditor says that we have asked for this, or we said you should follow this rule, but they are following some other rule. That is something we call a qualified audit report. Qualified audit report is a bad sign. That means there is something wrong with the business practices possibly. Okay, the best part of the auditor is that auditor is appointed by the company, but auditor is independent. Like, you know, in our judicial system, like High Court judges or Supreme Court judges, they are appointed by the government, but once they are appointed, they are independent, right? So you cannot just remove a High Court judge. Impeachment is a little long time actually. It is not that easy. So that is the best part. Somebody is appointing you, but you can, once appointed, you cannot remove just like that. So auditor, one can remove because of certain problems, reasons, all those things. Auditor can be removed. That is another point. But auditor is independent. So that ensures, yes, as a ordinary person like me and you, how do you know whether the company has done the things properly or not? So though looking at auditor has certified the financial statement, we can say, okay, that means it is, so this must have followed. Still, companies don't follow. Auditors may be hand in glove with the company. They may be following certain regulation rules. Then may not be following certain rules. They may be misrepresenting. Those things are always there because you will always hear some accounting scams, corruption in accounting. All those things are still there. Abhyukt, you are saying something?
Yes, sir. So, sir, once the auditor is appointed, they can't be removed for that particular year, or the organization has to stick with that auditor for life.
I am not going to the details about that auditor appointment. They can be removed. It's not they cannot be removed, but removal is not that easy. Okay, it is not that easy. They can be. It's not that like your judges cannot be removed. Yes, judges can be also impeached. Okay, but a long procedure is there. The point is that auditor is appointed by the company, but independent. Once appointed, they are independent of the company. They are not employees of the business. Please keep that in mind. Okay, like director of the company, executive director, chairman, etc. They are like employee of the business, but an auditor is not an employee of the business. Okay, if you become employee of the business, then your accountability is something different. If you are not employee, then you are independent as such. They are bound by their own regulations. Like a doctor, you go to doctor. Doctor is independent. Doctor will prescribe the medicine what it suits you. You cannot force the doctor that you prescribe this medicine like this only, right? Something like that. But you are only paying the fees to him. Please keep in mind. But you cannot say that I am giving you fees so that you have to give a report whatever is I am suitable, I feel suitable for me. You cannot say like that. Okay.
Yes.
But at the same time, doctor maybe you may not go to doctor is another point. But once you go to doctor, you have to go by his or her advice. That's the call independence. But you are paying the fees. Please keep in mind. Okay. But you cannot dictate the terms to them, right? Okay. So anyway, these are certain checks and balances in the financial reporting system to ensure that things are actually being reported correctly. But at the same time, things can always go wrong. People can always say that, yes, it is not being presented properly. All those things are there. Yeah, somebody says it should highlight the most relevant information for stakeholders, correct? Okay. And who is say Rohit Deshpande is saying that? She has said, okay, that's good. Okay, now let me go back to my presentation. Yeah, I was here. This is something we'll try to discuss today. Let's see how much you can discuss and we'll continue in the next class. First is a caveat, then some questions. The finance reporting information system, who are the users? We have discussed already about that. Expected quality of reports, we have already talked just now. Then basic reports that the company has. Then yes, how reporting is a means result information asymmetry. We'll talk about that. Then some select report, annual report, if you can, we can have a look at them. Then we see accounting, then expected quality. Okay, this point is repeated here. And I think yeah, 2 points are actually repeated. Then something called forms of business organization. Let's see. This particular slide will be kept in the Google Drive folder at the end of the class. Okay, right. A caveat is like this. You see here something. You please go through that. Okay, so financial reporting or accounting is not rocket science. Anybody who can read any number should be able to read the financial statement. Read means read is not only reading. Reading means you read and make some interpretation out of that. That is called reading of the report. It's not just glance through that. Just look at them and also make some. And anybody can do that. It's not a very difficult, tricky or something subject. And for all of you who are very intelligent, it is a very small thing to understand as long as you focus and follow the class. Okay, so if you look, this was the question I think in your class, in your test, right? Is the question correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what is the top line means sales for this particular period? Provided services for cash, collected cash for services, then collected cash for service to provide next year, provided service. What is the answer? Anyone?
31,000.
31,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means 20 plus 11. You are saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other answer? Anyone else? Everybody said 31,000.
Sir, I did 20,000 because the 11,000 has not yet been received, so that we can't consider it as a sale.
Okay. Anyone else? Somebody said, Khushbu says the 17,000. 17,000 how? How 17,000 Khushbu? How did you do that?
I thought it will be like how much raise top line sales. I thought it will be like how much net investment, net profit before the
So where
year.
is the profit here? Where is the expense? How did you calculate the 6? How did you do that calculation? 17 is the equation is what? 20 plus or 20 plus 14 minus 16 minus 11, something like that.
So yes, sir. 20 plus 11 minus 14.
Or 20 plus 11 minus 14. Okay. Okay. Somebody says 50,000. That means everything added. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So now I introduce a concept here. Okay. The concept is called accrual concept of accounting. Okay. Accrual concept of accounting says that if this particular transaction is related to that particular year, particular accounting period, okay, you will consider that as the revenue or expense. Whether you have got the cash, paid the cash, that is irrelevant. But that must relate to that. Okay. Now, if you look at this particular example here, provided services for cash 20,000, you have done up this year, you have also. So definite is revenue for this year. Similarly, collected cash for services provided in services provided in the future. You have not done your job, so you cannot show that as revenue. Okay. So you have not done the job, so you cannot show that as a revenue. So 16,000 is ruled out. But you have done the job or not got the money. That is the possibly one of the point which made people have doubt. Okay. So as I told you, whether you have got the cash or not got the cash, you will show that as a revenue because you have done your job. So this 11,000 and this 20,000 will be considered as revenue for this year. Whereas if somebody asks you how much cash is collected in this year from our customers, what will be that amount then? How much cash is collected during this particular period?
29.
Not 29, 50,000.
Yeah.
Yes, no, 20,000 for this year, 14,000 for last year, 16,000 for which year? Next year. Okay. So 50,000 is collection from the customer, whereas your revenue is actually 20 plus 11, 31. This is under normal circumstances. Okay. Under exceptional circumstances, rules can change, but unless and otherwise mentioned, organizations follow accrual system of accounting. Okay. Right. So let me go to the next one. This is something which was not asked in the question. You were not asked this question, I think. It was not there, na, this question?
Yes, sir, it was not there.
So now look at it. What will be the expense to be recognized for salary and what will be the amount that is actually paid for the salaries? For the quarter 3 of 2019-20, quarter 3 means October to December. What will be the salaries expense for this quarter? Yes.
So I said maybe 46,000 because of 14 plus 15 and 17. Since it's
14.
given only, since it's only given on the 5th day, our December salaries will still not have been paid. Whereas
But again, I'm telling you, unless an authorized mention, we are following accrual system of accounting.
50,000 because we'll count only 3 months in a quarter. Okay, sorry, quarter 3. Sorry.
Yeah, quarter only, right? Yes, 3 months in a quarter, no doubt. 50. You are saying 50,000?
Yes, sir. 50,000.
Yes, it is 50,000. So we will consider the October, November, December salary, whether it has been paid, not paid, that is secondary for us. So 50,000 will be recognized salaries expense. Okay. But if somebody asks you how much actually is paid during this quarter for this salary, it will be 18,000 will not be considered because that is going to pay in January next quarter. 14,000 which was due in the September will be now paid in the month of October, right? So 14 plus 15 plus 17, that comes to how much? 17 plus 15, 32 plus 14. 46,000 is the amount that is as far as payment is concerned, but as far as recognition of expenses amount is actually 15 plus 17 plus 18, 50,000. So now you see the difference, how it happens, right? Because the person has done the job for you. He has done the job. His salary is due. Whether you are paid, not paid, that is another thing. You are paid, he has done the job. You have got the benefit out of the job done by the employers. So you will recognize at your payment. Okay, this is another example of application of accrual concept. Okay, right. Then let's go to this one.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Asking, yeah, there is, yeah.
Sir, the third quarter, sir, the fourth quarter should be the last 3 months, right? Or is it the third quarter?
Fourth quarter, no, this is quarter 3 only. Okay, Q3 sir. Means it is unless an other is mentioned, Q3 your financial year is actually from April 1st.
Okay, yeah, sir, got it.
How much raw material expense?
Sir, 94,000.
94,000.
So 1 lakh.
94 means you said 1 lakh plus 12 minus 18.
Yes, sir.
So 1 lakh.
So 1 lakh.
$94,000 who told?
Sir, me, Aryan Garg.
Okay. 1 lakh is telling me. Who are saying 1 lakh?
Sure.
Yeah, Gaurang, you have some point to answer. You have raised the hand.
So you asked who said 1 lakh. That's why.
Okay. You want Chinmay then, right? Okay, you can put it. Right. So again, let me go back to the particular slide. Yes, see, as I told you, how much is expense means you have got the benefit. Please keep that in mind. Okay, you have derived the benefit. It's consumption actually. It is consumption. How much you have consumed. So now if you look at, as far as consumption is concerned, look at the physical value. You have purchased 1 lakh rupees material this period. You also had 12,000 rupees worth material from the previous period. That means how much is available for consumption during this particular period? 1,12,000. But if you look at the end stock, you say 18,000 rupees worth material is still left over. What does it mean then? 1 lakh plus 12 minus 18. So 94,000 rupees worth material is actually consumed. And that will be taken because you have derived the benefit of 94,000. So that will be taken as your what? Raw material expense for that particular period. It is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Okay. Now these are, I'm just citing certain simple protocols here. Organizations have to follow this protocol. If this protocol changes, then what will happen? You cannot compare a statement of one company and another company. Okay, right. But somebody is asking you that how much is actually paid towards raw material. How much is paid towards raw material purchase during this particular period? How much will be that? It is only 1,20,000. What does it mean? What does it mean? How much is due? Can somebody answer? How much is still due to my supplier at the end of this particular period?
10,000.
10,000. Very good.
10,000.
Yeah, because you have paid 1,20,000, which includes 30,000 for the previous year due. That means you paid 90,000 for this year, and you have purchased how much in this year? 1 lakh rupees. So you have paid 90,000, 10,000 is due to your supplier. Okay, so here that is called the cash aspect. How much cash inflow, how much cash outflow. In this case, outflow only. Okay, but as far as expense recognition concern, called accrual concept, we will go by is actually how much has been consumed. That will be your expense for that particular period. Whether you have paid for it, not paid for it, that is secondary for us when you are following accrual basis of accounting. Okay, so if you look at accounting as a definition as such, it is the process of identifying, measuring and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by the users' information. So you identify the economic information, you measure them, then you try to communicate to whom? Some people, users, who are the stakeholders, so that they can make some informed judgment. They'll take some judgments, but it's informed judgments, and they can make a decision. Decision could be, should I lend to this company or not? Should I invest in these shares of this company or not? Should I supply to them or not? Should I procure material from them or not? Okay. And is this company from tax point of view, is this company calculating tax properly or not? Are they paying taxes in time? All those things possibly they can infer. Yes, depending on the regulator's requirement, they may ask for some additional information. The company may be obliged to provide that. Okay, that may not be available to you and me as a ordinary general users for that matter. Similarly, it also talks about it is the art of recording the business transactions in a chronological order. As the transactions happen, it gets recorded, and then some summary reports are presented to make the reader understand the transaction and find out the net result of the business. Finally, what happened at the end of a particular period? Net result. What did this company do? And what is going to happen? How it is going to, whether can they do good in the future or not? All those things will be there in this, which will be held by the accounting system. Okay, so accounting system, you have inputs, you have process, you have output, and you have users. So input will be there, transaction. We'll see those. We'll take an example and do that. Then there's a certain process of the organization to follow. Then some output will come out, and there will be some users of output. Okay, these are the users we have already talked in the previous class, so I'm not discussing further. Then yes, these are the basic statements that the organizations present. Okay, one of the statement is called income statement or called profit and loss account. This is a summary of revenue and expenses for a particular period for a particular business. Please keep in mind that for a particular period. Okay. Then something is called, there is a statement of resources and sources of resources. That is called the balance sheet. Okay. So what are the resources of the business? Resources means what the business can do with what. Okay. The resources are also named as, if somebody must have heard by now, called assets of the business. So the business has these assets, and these assets will help produce benefit for the organization in future. Okay, and how did you get the resources? By the way, if I claim that I have got 1 lakh rupees of cash and 2 lakh rupees of machine, so I have how much total assets I have as a business? 3 lakh rupees, correct?
Yes.
Correct or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is two things only. Now, how did you get this 3 lakh rupees? Business. How did the business get this 3 lakh rupees?
You might have borrowed from loan or your personal.
Right. Okay. Now I am introducing a particular concept called business entity. So we have talked about accrual concept. Now we talk about business entity. The accounting statements are for the business, not the businessman. Please keep that in mind. You may tattoo it. Okay. Whatever discussion we are going to have in this particular subject, it is for the business. It is not for the businessman. Okay. Now the point is that how, from where this business has got this particular asset. How did they get this cash? Somebody must have given that money. Okay. So it may be 1,50,000 is given by the owner. Okay. And 1,50,000 is given by lender. That means what the business owes, what the business owns is 1 lakh rupees cash and 2 lakh rupees machine, correct? Whereas what the business owes, how much it owes and to whom?
1,50,000.
So 3 lakhs.
Also 3 lakh rupees. Okay, right? And 1,50,000 rupees owes to whom? Lender, 1,50,000 rupees. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So 1,50,000 rupees towards lender, 1,50,000 rupees owner. Now tell me, owner's investment is called what? We discussed previous class. It is known as what?
Equity.
Equity, share capital, capital. Right? Now tell me, from the business point of view, capital is an asset or liability?
Asset.
Liability.
Asset.
Assets, sir.
Asset.
Asset, sir.
Liability.
Liability.
Capital represents what the business owes to the businessman. When I say owes, it is a liability or asset?
Liability.
Liability. So share capital, equity, share capital, all those things, that means that must be the amount who is the business owes towards businessman. So from the accounting point of view, do not confuse capital as an asset. Asset is something which the business owns. What the business owns in this context, which you discussed in our class, in this example I told you, business owns 1 lakh rupees cash and 2 lakh rupees of what? Machine. That is called the assets of the business. Okay. How these assets came? Because business has raised 1,50,000 rupees of loan and 1 lakh. First actually started maybe 1,50,000 rupees of what? Owner's money. Then you take a loan, right? And total money is 3 lakh rupees, and 3 lakh rupees is now applied in different formats. 2 lakh rupees towards machine, 1 lakh rupees still they are kept in the cash. Now what will happen when the transactions take place? This composition will change. The composition of assets will change. The compositions of equity and liability also can change. Okay, right? And there, that is called here, that total of the resources is known as assets. Total of sources resources called total of equity and liability. So there I introduce one more concept called accounting equation, where it says assets is equal to liability plus equity, or liability plus capital, or liabilities from owners. Okay, owner's stake, etc., etc. It's called accounting equation. That is called also balance sheet equation. It is also known as accounting equation. Okay. So whatever transactions, just a minute, let me complete. I'll come back. Whatever transactions that take place, it will be recorded in such a manner your balance sheet will be in the balanced condition. Accounting equation is fulfilled. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, so if I understand the previous example correctly, it is basically 1,50,000 was put in by the investor, 1,50,000 was put in by the owner, and then the business is 3 lakh rupees cash, right? So at this stage in the accounting process, the liability is 3 lakh rupees of the cash put in, and the assets is the 3 lakh cash sitting in the bank account of the business, right?
No, that was initially, but they have bought a machine in the meantime, na?
I'm talking about before they bought the machine, like initially.
Yes, correct. So they got 1,50,000 rupees from owners. That's the first transaction. So their cash is 1,50,000 then, cash or bank balance. Then they got 1,50,000 rupees of another borrower from the borrower. So your cash becomes how much? Also 1,50,000, 1,50,000, 3 lakh rupees. And then you owe 1,50,000 to owner, 1,50,000 to the lender. Then they have got another transaction where they bought a machine for 2 lakh rupees. So cash is down and machine is up, correct?
Yes, sir, understood.
Actually, if you look at in this particular thing, 1, 2, 3 transactions have taken place. First transaction when you got money from the owner. Second transaction when you got the money from lender. Third transaction when you bought the machine. And at the end of each transaction, you will see that A is equal to E plus L. Asset is equal to equity plus liabilities. It will always be that. That's why accounting is known as a science. Okay. Then you have something called cash flow statement. If you remember our example that talked about, although in the salaries case, although salaries expense was 50,000, but the cash flow towards salary was actually how much? 46, I think, right? In the previous exercise, because you, as far as cash flow is concerned, cash outflows regarding salary is concerned, we have taken September, October, November, because September month salary is paid in October, October month salary is paid in November, November month salary is paid in the December month. So we will look at how much cash flow. So there will be difference between cash flow and the other things also. We'll talk about the different components of cash flow in subsequent classes. Okay. Then there will be other reports which the users may actually require. Okay. So that also will be prepared by the company and presented. As you talked about in previously, yes, the reports will be understandable, reports will be reliable. There comes the role of auditor as well as the provisions of different acts, accounting reporting standards, okay, accounting policies, rules, regulations. It should be relevance. Yes, it should be relevant. You should not provide. You should provide some information is relevant, and it should be in such a manner that you will be able to compare your report with the previous year, or compare the report with a similar company in the same sector, so that you can make an informed judgment as well. Okay. Now what I talk about here is called very interesting thing called the problem of lemons. Okay. Anybody has an idea? What is lemon? Lemons means what?
Bad cars.
Second-hand cars.
Who told you? Who is saying this?
Sir, we were discussing it in a previous class last semester in product development.
Public
Okay.
finance.
In which class? Product development.
Public
Yes, sir,
finance
just
and
sir
policy.
mentioned.
Oh, great. That's good. Okay. So what is that? Can you please elaborate them? Because you already know that. Chinmay, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please
Sir,
tell.
sir, they are basically used cars that are sold again. We just don't know whether they are good or not until we buy them and use them again.
Then? Yeah, what is then? What is the relevance of the theory? If you have
Not much, sir. I'm sorry.
someone else also saying he or she knows, someone else also made some valid noises.
Sir, I think it can be because if I'm selling the car, picking up from where.
Anyone else who knows about this theory?
Hello?
Yeah, go problem. Or go get higher, right? Yeah. Sorry, na. Sorry, Oh. Are you there? I got disconnected. What?
Can hear you now. We couldn't hear you for all this time.
I was wondering what happened. Suddenly I found in meeting only I am there, nobody else is there. Very bad. Okay, let's go to that point.
So,
how to resolve this problem?
Sir, so I think we hadn't characterized the problem fully. So I think picking up from where Chinmay left, the problem was that when the car is being sold, the person who's selling it, he might know something about the car we don't. For example, the gearbox doesn't shift very well. So he knows that, but we don't. So that is the lemon problem. I think it can be resolved by ensuring that there's some laws so that the seller has to disclose a certain set of standard information about a car so that the seller can actually know, so that the buyer can actually know what he's buying, right? Because the buyer has no way of knowing that the car's gearbox is bad, the steering wheel is bad, or something like that.
Okay, good point, good observation. The point is that this second-hand car market or bike market is actually a very informal market. So expecting some rules, regulations, law is going to be very unlikely as such, right? So how do you ensure? Suppose there is no law or regulation, still you like to, as a buyer, you like to know. You have to pay. You are thinking that I am paying their best right price. I am not being taken for granted. Suppose there is no law.
Sir, I can ask for a warranty from the seller. You know, if you have to give me some warranty for 2 months, 3 months.
Okay, so the seller will give a warranty that if something happens, I'll take the car back or something else. Anything else?
Sir, we can take the help of an inspection agency, which can inspect the entire vehicle.
Inspection agency, right? So you get it rated or some third party who says that okay, there are certain features of the car and tick 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 tick, and then finally they say looking at all the tick 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 tick, okay, 3.5 out of 5, right? Similarly, another car goes. So what will happen? Though nobody is forcing you, but you know if you do not have the rating card, the person will not come and buy the car from you. It has become an informal rule now. Yes, if you do the rating card, it will be easy for you to sell the car. Now everybody, once one person does, everyone will also get it done to get the best price. But what will happen in this case? Your car will now categorize as 3.5 car, 4 car, 4.5, 5 car like that, or 3.0 rating car. So what will happen in that case? Yes, you have now 4 groups of cars, let's say, depending on the rating. So your problem is not resolved fully. So there will be 4.0 cars, but among them 4.0 also could be something good, something bad among them. But still you cannot go to that minutely. So what is happening here? You get the particular thing rated or get a warranty or something like that, so that you can classify the second-hand car into multiple segments. And the multiple segment will have different prices. I am not saying that your entire problem is mitigated, but you try to control the problem. So similarly, if organizations are asked to report the way they feel like, then you cannot compare them which is good, which is bad. So the financial reporting system, which is regulations, rules, procedures, etc., help you differentiate between lemon and cherry in the market. That is the role of financial reporting system. Okay. So that you can find out which is good, which is bad. If it's not there, it will be very difficult. And it has to be there means there has to be standard protocols to be followed by the business. It is not that whatever way you feel, you will present the statement. That is not allowed like that. Okay. Next point is that, yes, it also takes care of information asymmetry. Yes, somebody was very rightly pointing out, I think Abhyukt only. Yes, it talks that he talks of gearbox, etc. So the buyer, seller knows there is a problem with the gearbox, but the buyer does not know about it. That is called information asymmetry. That means information known between one person and another person is not same. and that can lead to a lot of problems in the market as such. The financial reporting system helps mitigate the information asymmetry. It will not mitigate fully, but try to help also. So now the question is that yes, companies will have the financial statement presented at a particular intervention of time, maybe annually, maybe semi-annually, maybe quarterly. But during this time, something important may happen. So in that case, the company has to come with periodic disclosure, and the company is listed in the stock exchange. They will inform the stock exchange that such and such thing has happened. And if it is possible with that particular news, the market may react either favorably or unfavorably. Share price may go up or share price may come down. So what I'm pointing is that just because you have presented the final statement does not mean you have disclosed everything. You may be required to disclose something more depending on the situation. Otherwise, there will be allegation against you that there is insider trading. Suppose there is a oil company. So oil company is exploring oil. They came to know that yes, they are exploring, trying lot of efforts, making lot of efforts. Then they chanced upon oil. Now what will happen? They are now technically sure, yeah, this oil is there. People know that they are exploring, but people don't know they have found the oil. Now what will happen if this news is disclosed to the market? What is likely to happen for the share price of this company?
Share price will go up.
Unless other things remaining constant, share price will go up. But suppose the share price does not go up. What does it mean? It's a very sensitive news, but still share price has not gone up.
Means people don't know that they have found.
No, they have disclosed the information. They made the announcement. After that, share price has not gone up.
Then even the competitors know.
That means it was already factored into the price of the stock. This company will
correct. That means somebody has already leaked this information and made an maybe 2-3 days back the share price has reacted, which you and me do not know as such. That's not. See, you and me don't rule the market. Lead investor, they rule the market actually. And if this is found by the regulator, it is a very serious allegation. A company's reputation is gone. Like recently, Reliance Industries has been penalized by some crores of rupees, right, by SEBI, and related to Reliance Petroleum. And it's a very old case, but now they have been penalized, right, because they are allegation of inside trading. It's a very serious thing. Okay, right. Now, so we talked about information asymmetry. We talked about problem of lemons. Let me see. Okay, I talked about that. These two things. Yes, accounting regulation, the source could be your called generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP. This financial or called financial reporting standard like IFRS, you must have heard about. Indian accounting standard is not Ind AS, then IFRS, then US is called US GAAP. Besides that, Minister of Corporate Affairs will also tell certain regulations. SEBI, RBI will also have. Just a minute, let me complete this slide. I'll come back. Minister of Corporate.
Are not visible.
Oh, how is that? Screen share is disabled or what? Is it visible now?
No, sir.
Visible now? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We talked about this. Okay, now we're talking about this. We have got generally accounting, accepted accounting principles, GAAP, financial reporting standards, that is also known as Indian accounting standards, now known in AS. Then you have international financial reporting standards. Then you also have US GAAP as per US rules regulation. Besides this thing, in India, the ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, they are the formal standard setters. and ratified by the Minister of Corporate Affairs. Beside these standards, Minister of Corporate Affairs also can have certain rules and regulations the governments to follow. Then depending on the company's status, SEBI, RBI, they'll also have regulations that you have to follow. Income Tax Act has certain regulation. There may be sector specific acts which the organizations to follow as such. So these are the sources of accounting regulations, and as a company you have to follow them, and auditor has to check that yes you are following or not following as such. Okay. Now, if you look at certain accounting concept, we talked about business entity. We have already talked about that. We have talked about accrual. If you look at this point, right? And we'll talk about other points in the over period of time as such. Okay. So let me now what I do. Let me do just a minute. Are you seeing a presentation, Nidhi OPC?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So please go through this. Okay, so the point is that here there are certain a particular business which has started with certain money and there are certain transactions. Okay, and if I go to the next slide, you have some more transactions here also, right? Now the question point is that we like to know whether we should invest in this business or not. So for that purpose, we should know how it looks like after so many transactions, everything, revenue, expense, all those things, they have got money, loan, etc., etc. How this business looks like, okay? So that they have to present such financial statement, like we talked about, like your balance sheet, your income statement, cash flow, how it looked like. So we'll try to do this one through the help of a spreadsheet. We'll do that. How? So what we will do in this case as such, we'll see how each transaction takes place, how it affects the accounting equation. What is the accounting equation, by the way? What is the accounting equation?
Capital
A equals to E plus L.
Assets equal to liability.
Asset is equals to equity plus liability.
Very good. A is equal to E plus L. Okay. A is equal to E plus L. E is equity, L is liability, A is asset. That is a fundamental accounting equation. So we will now what we will do, we will take these transactions one by one and see how it affects my what? Accounting equation. Okay, that's okay.
Sir.
You can see that another screen here. So I'll toggle between two screens, okay, and go one by one, right? What I'm doing here is that I am writing, I have a spreadsheet where we'll mention about transactions here, right? Then you have assets. If there are assets, you will mention that. Then we have equity and liability, right? And we'll see how each particular transaction affects the accounting equation. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Transaction. What's the first transaction?
Capital.
Not
Sir,
saving.
1 lakh.
One
Yes,
lakh.
sir.
She started business with 1 lakh rupees out of her pocket money and stipend, right? That means, and what is the concept talking about? One thing is that we are talking about business entity. Business is separate from the businessman, correct? Account business entity, right? So for the business called OPC, we'll talk about the business organization OPC partnership that will in this next class. Sunshine Limited, tell me, what will be the transaction now? Sunshine Limited has got this money, correct? So it will affect the cash of the Sunshine or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Cash of the Sunshine will go up. Cash is an asset or what?
So asset.
Asset. Right? Okay. So I use one column for cash. What is my first transaction? My first transaction is that yes, you have the cash brought by the owner. So how much amount will be there? Right? 1 lakh rupees, na?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you see here, this dialog, this particular cell becomes false. Okay, what I've done at the end, I made the total of all the columns. I said total assets. I made total of this right side called equity and liability, right? And if this don't match, it will show false, right? If it matches, it will show. That means account equity is not taken care. Now, what will be the other thing that is affecting? What will be other one will be affected in the equity and liability side, by the way?
Equity goes up.
Equity goes up.
Equity goes up. So we'll keep an for share capital. Equity or share capital we take. So let me write. How much? 1 lakh rupees?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. What is my next transaction?
Loan by her father.
You took a loan, she took a loan from her father. So which carries a quarterly interest at 3%. We don't bother about interest now. We'll take what loan has been taken. So the loan is taken. What will happen? How it will affect my transaction?
Liability increases.
Liability increases. So you will create a column. You will use a column for what? Loan, right?
Right.
We'll rename a column. So this loan is there already. We have already do that. This column, the second column after equity, what happened to this? Okay. So loan payable, how much? 80,000. 80,000, na?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Now, what is the what will be the other effect?
Asset will increase.
Cash increase.
Cash
will increase.
Cash will increase.
Cash will increase. Acha, what is the mistake I did?
Rupee side.
No, not rupees. I mentioned the first row. Right? It has to be second row, new transaction. That is a mistake I did. So loan taken. Okay. So next transaction, loan taken. Very good. For the next transaction, you hired an office space for a monthly rate of 5,000. Tell me, this is a transaction recorded or not recorded?
So no, it
We can take it as annual.
So not yet recorded.
So it is expenses, so not recorded.
No. To be recorded or not recorded? Is it an expense? Is it an expense?
Yes, sir. We are using.
No, it is not an expense. You have just hired this space and rent will be typically paid at the end of the month, correct? This is just hired a space. Yeah. It is not a transaction recorded. Okay. So we will not bother about this transaction, right? It just hired a space and you will pay the rent when it becomes due. Bought furniture for rupees 10,000. And there is some more information given, life 4 years, salvage value nil. That means it will last for 4 years and at the end of 4th year nothing will be there, right? So okay, that information we will use later. For the time being, you bought 10,000 rupees furniture. What will happen in transaction then? What will be the effect now?
Cash will decrease.
Cash will decrease, correct? Then
Furniture
cash
asset
minus
increase.
how much? Minus how much?
10,000.
10,000.
And then another asset called furniture will be created, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we will see, I think furniture is there, so 10,000. So if you look at the previous transaction, this transaction, in the previous transaction, both the sides were affected and both the sides are affected is in same sign. But in this transaction, same side is affected, two different columns. So one is up, one is down, correct? When transactions are affecting same side, obviously one has to be going up, one has to come down, otherwise the equation will not hold good, correct? If a transaction happens both these sides, then both the sides sign will be same. Okay, so let's go to next transaction. You also bought some office consumables, 8,000 rupees. What will be happening then? Now you bought a laptop also.
Laptop.
40,000. So same thing. 5 years life, 10,000 salvage value, etc. That you will see later. At this point of time, where 40,000 is laptop bought, correct? So minus 40,000 cash and plus 40,000 laptop, correct? Am I wrong or right? Is it okay?
Right, sir.
Or anybody is not able to follow, please ask me. Because this is the foundation of your class. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I didn't understand why rent was not considered.
Rent has not been paid. You just hired the space. You have not paid the rent.
Okay, sir.
Sir, had there been a deposit?
You had an agreement. You had an agreement with the landlord. Okay. Yeah. Had there been
a deposit, security deposit?
Then it will be, if it's there, I don't know if this the example is there or not. If there is a rent deposit, then you will say rent deposit assets, and rent deposit will asset and cash will go down rent deposit, because the rent deposit you are going to get back when you vacate this space, correct? Rent deposit and rents are different. Rent is an expense, rent deposit is an asset. Okay, then next one. Next one, let me go back. At the beginning, okay, you bought some office consumables for rupees 8,000. So your consumables are there. Okay, what will be this? It is an asset for us because you are able to consume. Okay, at this point in time, it is an asset, it is an inventory for us, it is an asset for us. So what will be the way we will record then?
Sir, minus 8,000 cash and plus 8,000 office consumables.
Sorry. Okay, so minus 8,000 the cash and this one is consumables. Okay, so consumables 8,000, so plus 8,000. Okay, next. You made a deposit. Yes, somebody is asking. Deposits made the landlord 10,000. What will happen then? Deposit is an asset, correct?
Yes, sir.
So deposit an asset, deposit, correct. How much is that? 10,000. So cash down by 10,000 and your deposit, another asset is created here. Okay. Deposit landlord. Okay. Anybody? All of you are following or not? Anybody has a doubt? Okay. No problem.
How deposit is an asset?
Because you will get back that money when you vacate this space. Or it will be adjusted against that year, that month deposit, that month rent. So you'll get some benefit.
Okay.
Okay. Next transaction. She also hired an assistant for a monthly salary rupees 8,000. payable 1 day after the end of the particular month. Acha, this will be recorded or not?
Not
Sir, not
recorded.
No, sir.
recorded.
Why?
No, sir.
Because it is an
Because
expense to be paid.
Pardon?
Sir, it is still to be paid, sir. It means we
No,
haven't made any kind
still
of
to be paid
expense.
is different. Still to be paid different.
Sir, actually, we are writing the accounts on day 0. So the amount of salary accrued is actually 0. So therefore, it's no expense has been accrued yet. If we were writing
please understand statement. You have just hired the person. Like you got to the place on rent, na? Something. You have given appointment letter. You have hired. He has joined. He has joined doesn't mean you pay the salary immediately.
And our account payable will increase in liability side.
No, nothing. It will not be recorded because you have just hired. You have not paid the salary. It is not due also. Okay. When it becomes due, we'll see that. At the end of the month, it will become due. We'll see that time. At this point of time, we have not recorded this transaction. This information is only relevant when you actually pay the salary or salary becomes due. Then this we will talk about, okay, how much salary? 8,000. As of now, there is no transaction for the business. Okay. Then next transaction is that you bought a software for how much? 21,000, which has technical life of 3 years. Okay. So what will be the transaction then? Minus 21,000 cash. Software is an asset for us because you are going to get the benefit from this use of asset for the next 3 years. It is an asset for us, right? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Next, sorry. Then you see, says put up a small advertisement paying rupees 5,000 to an online site. Okay. Now what happens? And soon Sunshine started getting inquiries from the potential clients. At the end of the quarter, Nidhi got a call from her father asking about the business. So then they see look at the bank account and found some other transactions. So the 5,000 rupees will be taken as what? Minus 5,000 cash, that is no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But what will be the other counter treatment? Either something will go up on asset side or something will go down on the equity or liability side.
Equity side.
Assets.
Equity side minus 5,000 goes down.
Why equity will go down?
So equity is related with the owner's money, so profit and loss is all like subtracted from equity.
Expenses are subtracted from equity only.
Who told that? I did not say.
How does it will be
You
converted
already
into
know then why you are
goodwill?
in this class.
Oh.
Who are answering this? Chinmay.
It's asset side, I guess, because it
No,
will
sir.
What is this? Who is answering? Sorry.
Sir, me this because
Somebody said it equities and profit, etc. And the girl, who is that? Yeah, tell your name. Prachi. Prachi, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have already read this?
Yes, sir.
What was the source of that? Year reading?
Sir, 11th class accounting book.
11th class accounting. You are JEE advanced accounting. क्या कर रहा है?
No, sir. In the meantime, like summer break, I was reading. This summer.
Okay. Right. Okay. So what I do now, let me go back to the spreadsheet. I create here. Okay. Now I told you accounting equation. Yes, I told. Let me write here assets. Then I write here equity. Then I write here liabilities. Okay. Right. So these are my this side is my what one side or the another side, left side, right side, you can say for the timing. Okay. Now I expand this. Actually, suppose in this transaction, let's say our accounting, that period is ending with this transaction, that 5,000 advertisement is paid and there is no more transaction, and then you will like to know how much profit or loss this company has made with this transaction. Can somebody tell me, looking at this, how much profit or loss the company has made? No more transaction. This is the final transaction for that particular accounting period. Yes. Profit or loss is nothing but what? Revenue minus expense, correct? Did the company have any revenue?
No, sir.
No
So we
revenue.
cannot say based on the sheet.
We have not done any job for anyone, so as of now, so no revenues, revenue is nil. Did the company make an expense?
Yes.
Who is the expense? What is the expense? Expense means you almost derive the benefit or like to derive
Advertisement expense.
Pardon?
Sir, advertisement.
Advertising expense. Of course,
And
advertising.
hiring the office space.
No, that was, we have not paid any rent, na? We have just hired this space. We have recorded that also. As of now, let's say we have not paid, the month is not over, let's say. For the timing, we have not paid. Let's say the rent is not there, let's say, for the timing. So what is that you have got? 5,000 rupees is what? Expense. Revenue is how much?
0.
0. Right? Now, revenue minus expense, profit or loss. Okay. So what happens? Profit or loss belongs to owner. Okay. Profit or loss made during the business belongs to whom? Owner. So what will happen with profit? Owner's stake goes up. With loss, owner's stake, what happens? Goes down or come down? Goes up?
Goes down.
Goes down. So what do we do here? So now I'll tell you one more thing here. Profit is equal to revenue less expenses. Okay, right? Profit is equal to revenue less expenses, right? So what I'll do here in this case, then when the company makes a, let's say, assume that company makes a profit, and the company may think, if you remember, I told in the last class that when you are going for owner's money, you never say how much will you give them periodically and when you will give the principal back to them. We don't talk about that, correct? But the company may say that we have made some profit, so let us declare some dividend and share some profit with my owner. Okay, so what will happen then? What will happen then? So out of the profit, I pay some dividend. Okay. Are you getting my point? Dividend distributed to whom? To whom? Owners, shareholders. Okay. Now what will be this profit less dividend? Equity. So, no, equity. Profit belongs to equity. Profit minus dividend also belongs to equity. Now further it will go down, and this particular amount is the profit retained in the business. So this will be known as retained earnings. So what is my retained earnings equation then? Retained earnings equation is equal to what? Is what? Revenue minus expenses minus what? Dividend. Okay. So what we will do now? I'll write one more point here called retained earnings. So instead of affecting the equity amount for this day-to-day transaction, revenue, expenses, dividend, etc., I create a separate column and there I take care of revenue and expenses. Are you getting my point? So retained earnings equation is what? Revenue minus expenses minus dividend. So if there is a revenue takes place, I'll have a plus sign here. If the expense takes place, I'll have a minus sign here. If dividend takes place, I'll also have a minus sign here. Okay, but I'll put here. But from the owner's point of view, how much money is invested in this business by the owner? It will be equity plus what? Retained earnings. Owner's stake is equity plus retained earnings. So retained earnings is the profit generated in the business over a period of time. And it will keep on increasing, decreasing, like that will keep on happening. So with every financial reporting time, quarterly or annually or whatever that may be, your retained earnings balance will either go up or will come down depending on the profit. Okay, it will go up because of profit and it will go down because of loss. It also can go down because of dividend declared and paid. Okay, so let me go back to my exercise then. So what will be the effect of this 5,000 rupees also now? It will indirectly affect what? Share capital. So if I go back to here again, revenue, return earnings belongs to whom? Owners. So with revenue taking place, owner's stake goes up or comes down indirectly? With revenue,
So with revenue, it will go up.
Go up. With expense, owner's stake will indirectly go down. So revenue has an indirect increasing effect on equity. Expense has a indirect decreasing effect on equity. Dividend declared has an indirect decreasing effect on the equity. Instead of touching the equity column, for this day-to-day transaction, we will touch which column? Retained earnings column. Is it okay? So yes, I have this, that's why I left this particular column, extra column here. So I'll say retained earnings. So what will happen then? Where shall I record this 5,000? The counter effect.
Retained earnings.
Retained earnings minus or plus?
Minus.
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 Right? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Next I go to this. Yeah.
Sir, advertisement expense will generate new business. I mean, it will acquire, we will attract customers towards our business. So why this isn't in the asset column?
Yeah, advertisement expense will be, see, actually what happens now, it will generate customers immediately in the next month maybe. So that time you will recognize expense or not?
Yes, sir. It will be expense
so since the time lag between the action and the reaction is very less. So instead of booking the expense in future and booking now an asset, then book the expense later, you can book the expense now itself. As annuity gets incurred. Okay. Because advertisement expense is going to be a regular feature for any business as such. So what will happen? You will book this month's advertisement expense next year as an expense, next month. So like that, they will counter each other. So advertisement expense, instead of booking that, we will do that. We will be booking as an expense as and when it occurs. Okay. Because it's a regular expense. I know it helps you generate new customers, all those things, no doubt about that. Right? So let's go to the next one. Yes. You see here, she has collected from clients for the services provided. Oh, it's 955 or 950?
950, sir.
Okay, so we'll go by. Collected from clients for services provided 85,000, services yet to provide 20,000. What will be the effect of this transaction?
Sir, revenue will go up by 85,000.
Okay, then
Unearned revenue will go up by 20,000.
On revenue will go up by 20,000. On revenue.
So the asset will, the cash will increase
will
by
go up.
20,000.
Cash will go up by 1,05,000.
Yes. The liability will also
Yes,
go up by 20,000, sir.
Okay, so 85,000 revenue for this, you have no doubt about that. 20,000 rupees is the service that you have to provide in future. You are liable to the clients, right? Yes. Correct? So let me go back. Yeah. So provided services for cash. I have made it two transactions separately. Okay. So provided services for cash this much. And another is that you got the money, but you have to provide services. Very good. Okay. So provided services per cash, how much? 80,000?
85.
85,000. What will be the counter effect for this?
Revenue goes
Revenue taken place means our equity will go up indirectly. Instead of touching the share capital, we touch retained earnings column. How much? 85,000
plus 85,000.
right. Then comes you have got 20,000, no doubt. So 20,000 first you record in cash. Is it okay?
Yes.
But what happened? You are yet to get provide the service. You are now liable. Yes. So somebody said on revenue will go up. But you already know everything. Why you are in this class? Who said on revenue? Who said that?
Sir, it was
Karthik.
me, Karthik. Yes, sir.
So you already know about this. Why you are in this subject? Sorry. Okay. Salaries have been paid to the assistant for the month of October, November. First you pay the salary for October, November. December you will see later. Okay. So what will happen? October, November is for that particular period, no doubt about it. So what will be transaction then? How much? What will happen? Cash will go down or go up? Minus
Go
how
down,
much?
sir.
Go down.
Minus how much? Salary per month was how much? 8,000, I think, na? Salary you had 8,000, correct? क्या हुआ?
Sir,
Salary.
sir,
Yeah, tell
sir, that 20,000 rupees hasn't been balanced. Corrected cash for services to be provided in the future.
But I have taken though.
Acha, unearned revenue. Okay, okay. Yes,
But
sir.
this is still shows false. False is because our 8,000 this one only. Yeah.
Okay,
See,
okay.
if it doesn't
Understood.
show, this will become false actually. Now, if I remove this, it's true na, so taken care. So minus 16,000. What will happen? The other effect, counter effect of this is an expense. Salary is an expense or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Expense.
The
Returned
expense
earnings
against
is.
your equity means return earnings, so minus 16,000.
Yes.
Okay, right. So with this, I'll conclude today's session, and I'll upload this up to this part in this spreadsheet. You may try on your own. I'll also upload the Nidhi OPC case also and other slides. And yes, next Monday we have class, but because I'll be mostly traveling at that time, so Monday class might not be there. I'll have a compensating class for that. And whatever announcement I'll make in my MS Teams. Okay. I think MS Team announcement you get instant email or something like that, or what?
Yes, sir. We get a notification.
You get notification, correct? So that is the best way. Okay. Take care. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.